I first left home and avoided going to school, I didn't at first know I would end up here because I didn't know what the street life entailed. I indulged in your normal drugs, guns, gangs for about 6 years, and that caused me to come here to prison. And I ended up with a 45-year sentence for first-degree murder. The opportunity for me to be something was more in the street life than it was in the education.
What is public education if we're really talking about all kids? And that's supposedly what we're supposed to be doing. But in this country, there's that tradition of talking about all and everyone and not meaning all and everyone. These are the children who should be our senators and congressmen because they've experienced what life looks like with single mom, working minimum wage, multiple jobs, no health care. Those kinds of issues are in the forefront of their lives.
Thank you, Araceli. Math journal's out, ready to go. Big bonus. Big bonus.
And people don't come to teach in the South End because for no reason. They come here because they want to serve. Cherie is literally changing the trajectory of those kids' lives.
I became a teacher because I wanted to equip students who were labeled at risk with the tools that they needed to achieve their dreams in a society that keeps them at risk in many different areas of their lives. I met Elijah last year before I came to work at Hawthorne. I came to visit his classroom, and I first met him there. And I just came to observe the class, and right when I walked in, we developed a relationship. It was quite odd.
And, am, and, are, about, again, away.
He studied in kindergarten here, and they noted that he had trouble staying in one place. He could not concentrate in one place. He could not listen, and so he had to be suspended.
Betty is a working mom, and she works incredibly hard, and she's completely devoted to her child and to his success.
My day-to-day is I'm a full-time mom. I go to school full-time, and I work full-time.
Rock, paper, get one. Paper.
And this is a kid that fell into the category of we don't really know what to do. He learns differently.
He represents the plight of the black male in the school system, which is, there's no surprise that many of our black male students are going into special ed.
Role models, heroes, not really, I didn't have none of them. My brothers, my two older brothers, those were the only guys I really looked at. Unfortunately, they was more or less in the street life, so that's what drew me into the street life.
And for a young African-American male, that is something that just, they don't come out of that.
And he was a prime example of a child who exhibited the behaviors of maybe a child who people thought should go into special ed just because he did not know the expectations. And people were ready to write him off. So when he came into my classroom, I was a little apprehensive, and I seen all the behaviors that I heard about. He didn't know how to socially interact with other students. He was not following directions very well. He didn't know how to sit in his seat. Simple things like that.
Any. Also. Aren't. Another.
He came into my classroom reading 4 words. Now he can read over 200. He's reading words. He's starting to do math. He's starting to count to 100. Things that many people did not think were possible for Elijah, even himself.
It's not a question of not knowing what works with kids. There's plenty of research that tells us that if we would invest, it would make a huge difference. And yet, it's not being invested. If I had tons of money, if people just threw money at us, I think I would restructure the way school looks, because we haven't given them the kinds of experiences that show them that this is why we learn to read, you know? This is what you can do with writing.
The things that I was taught in school just did not appeal to me at all, except for the math, of course. The math was appealing, and that's only because I needed it to count money and do the drug transactions that I needed. So the math was really the only thing that appealed to me. Everything else was just frivolous.
You missed one. It starts with an A and it has a W in it. Can you find it?
Answer.
Answer. Beautiful job. Give Elijah a round of applause. Nice work, sir.
This is fun.
All right.
This is
Naila,
very, very
you're
fun.
next. And he is just an amazing child, and I'm extremely proud of him. But so many people in general, they don't want to put in the work to help these children.
I needed more attention from my teachers or the principal or a counselor at the public school. Somebody just give me a push to say, hey, you can do this, or you can be the next astronaut or the next Bill Gates. Who knows? We just never can say.
I believe if Elijah was not in an environment that was structured the way it's structured for him now, he would fall through the cracks.
The trajectory of this child's life has been changed. Building that belief system in a child is probably the most valuable thing. When you think about what a doctor gets to save children's lives, 6 figures, easy. You know, Cherie's doing that every day for 20 kids, every day. So what is an office visit if you were going to take your kid to the doctor every day to ensure that their life would be saved? What would that cost?
People only invest in what they truly care about and truly believe in. And by them not investing in our children, what they're telling our children and what they're telling our community is they do not have a true belief in our students, and they do not have high expectations for our students.
If I was in a room full of skeptical politicians and could say to them whatever I want, they're my white male privileged entitled politicians, I would ask them how their education's working out for them and whether or not they thought that every child deserved what they have. So we're not talking just about white privilege continuing and maybe some of our kids being able to participate in that privileged lifestyle. We're talking about what it's going to look like when we're all in this together.
The only way you can better yourself, that I feel, is through reading, writing, math, just educating yourself. I had like 3 tests left on my GED. I have 1 left now, taking that next week. When I finish, I plan on indulging into sociology, trying to be a personal trainer, and just basically give back for the wrong that I've done in the past. I can't balance it out, but I can try to do much good as I can now to help people with their lives, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, just whichever way it is, I'm here to offer my help.
What costs more, the salaries of a fresh year teacher or the cost of housing an inmate for 1 year in jail?
I think the teachers cost a little bit more.